You are watching someone else's life move. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way anyone around you would notice or validate or call painful. Just a quiet daily awareness that things are happening for other people and not for you. Someone got the opportunity you were waiting for. Someone built the thing you planned. Someone moved to the city you always said you would move to. Someone got the relationship, the career, the recognition, the version of life that existed in your head as the thing you were working toward. And they got it. And you watched. And here is the part that makes it unbearable. You smiled. You congratulated them. You liked the post. You said the right thing at the right time with the right expression on your face. And then you put your phone down and went very quiet inside. That quiet. Not the sadness, not the jealousy, not the anger. The quiet.
Here is what is actually happening to you. And I want you to hear this not as motivation, not as something designed to make you feel better, but as the accurate clinical description of your exact psychological state. Psychologists call it social comparison paralysis. It is not envy. Envy wants what someone else has. Envy is loud and urgent and motivating in a destructive way. This is different. Social comparison paralysis is what happens when the gap between where you are and where the people around you are becomes so consistently visible, so daily, so impossible to ignore, that your brain stops processing it as information and starts processing it as evidence. Evidence that the gap is permanent. Evidence that the movement happening around you is simply not available to you. And here is the mechanism that makes it devastating. Every time you see someone move forward, your brain does an automatic comparison. It is not a choice. It is not weakness. It is a hardwired survival function that has been running in human beings for 200,000 years. But that function was designed for a world where you knew 30 people. You now see the highlight reel of 300 million every single day. And your brain, running ancient software in a modern environment, processes every single one of those updates as a direct comparison to your own life. 300 million data points per day telling your nervous system they are moving. You are not. And your nervous system responds the only way it knows how. It freezes. Not from laziness, not from lack of ambition, from a threat response that was never designed for this volume of comparison. You are not stuck because you are weak. You are stuck because your brain is doing something completely rational in a completely irrational environment. But here is what the psychology does not tell you. What it actually costs you to watch. Not theoretically, not philosophically. In your specific daily life. It costs you your mornings. Because the first thing you do, before you are fully conscious, before you have spoken a word or had a thought that is entirely your own, is check what moved while you were sleeping. And your day begins already behind, already measuring, already comparing, already sitting in the quiet before you have even stood up. It costs you your ideas, not because you stop having them, but because every idea arrives already measured against someone who is further along, already doing it, already succeeded at it, already proved it is possible, which should feel like permission, but instead
feels like evidence that the space is taken. And the idea, before it ever becomes action,
gets quietly retired. It costs you your identity because you have spent so long watching other people's versions of success that your own original definition of what you wanted, the one that existed before the comparison, has been replaced. You no longer know if you want the thing or if you just want to have moved. And the most expensive cost, the one nobody names, it costs you your presence. Because a person who is always watching what is happening elsewhere is never fully here. Never fully in the conversation. Never fully in the moment. Never fully available to the life that is actually occurring around them. Because they are always somewhere else. Watching. Measuring. Going quiet.
So what do? Not a social media detox. You have tried that. The comparison does not live in the phone. It lives in the pattern of thinking the phone trained. Not a gratitude practice. Gratitude practiced on top of comparison paralysis is just performance. Your brain knows the difference. Not more motivation. You have consumed enough motivation to fuel a small country. It lasted exactly as long as the screen was on. One thing. Just one. You stop measuring your middle against everyone else's highlight. Not permanently. Not with discipline. Not by force. By understanding one thing so completely that the comparison loses its power. Everyone you are watching is also watching someone else. The person whose career moved is watching someone whose relationship worked. The person whose relationship worked is watching someone whose health held. The person whose health held is watching someone whose finances grew. There is no arrival point where the watching stops. The watching is the condition of being alive in this specific moment in history. And the people who are actually moving are not moving because they stopped watching. They are moving because they made one quiet, private decision that their own next step mattered more than anyone else's current position. Not forever, not with certainty, not with confidence, just for today. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better." But I want to say something he never said. Stop wishing you were further along. Start being ruthlessly, almost aggressively, present with exactly where you are. Because where you are, as uncomfortable and behind and invisible as it feels, is the only place your next move is available from. Not from where they are, from here.
Exactly here. And the person who finally stops watching long enough to take one step from exactly where they are stops being someone who watches and becomes, slowly, quietly, without announcement, someone worth watching.